Good afternoon, Bruce here with the California Gold Connection, looking at precious metals once again. Last time we talked, a video I did not too long ago, we're looking at gold here, and these are daily candles. We had tested this level 3 times. We started dropping down. We didn't know where we were going to go. We were hoping it would turn around and move back up and retest one more time and push through. 3 touches, now 4 touches. This is a bearish reversal pattern, which means that the market sentiment has tried to push through 4 times now, failed to do so. Bulls are losing steam, bears are starting to gain control, and we see prices potentially going to reverse and drop back down, which we did there. However, we've always talked about technical analysis, which charting is, and fundamentals, which means what's happening in the world. I haven't in the last 4 years or so really used much fundamentals because it's just heavily manipulated. However, with this administration and tariff talks and manipulations and cleaning up messes and all that, it's just a volatile time, and the fundamentals have really been coming into play. This bounce right here we saw was the Friday jobs report came out, and it was down below what was expected. And we're not going to get into specific numbers. The first 2 months or few months of the administration, the jobs report came out good. Well, then it was revised up even higher, which sounds like a good thing, but it was drastically higher. Now it's drastically lower. It's like garbage in, garbage out. You know, if you can't rely on that report, then it's really doesn't make sense, because a lot of businesses and whatnot are investing off of what's going on that report. Anyway, so it needs to be cleaned up, and as a result of that, Trump fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I think it was Friday, after hearing that jobs report. And now, is she the one that was the problem, or is the system just broken, need to be revised? One or the other, both, who knows. But in any event, theoretically, he's going to put somebody in there that's going to take a look at this whole system and try to clean it up. There's nothing wrong with slight revisions up or down, but when you have such drastic swings, it seems to be heavily manipulation or just a complete horrible system we're using. So anyway, that bad jobs report came out Friday and now created uncertainty. Boom, we got action. People jumping back into the gold as a safe haven hedge. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. Gold is once again, what are we going to see tomorrow morning when the market opens? Are we going to get a push back up? Are we going to retest this line again? Are we going to drop back down and come back down here and retest this level? Your guess is as good as mine, but it's interesting to watch. And finally, the fundamentals are really playing a part in how gold is moving. Let's take a look at palladium. Palladium is sitting here ready to rock or not. I wish I knew. And we've talked about this level before. Last time I believe I was looking at, are we going to push through this level? We did. Now we've created another bull flag. And you can see Friday we had a turnaround here. And is this going to keep extending out? Or are we going to make a massive push this next week and see if we can break through this level and start going up? Here would be our measured move out of that bull flag, $1,418. I would absolutely love to see that, obviously, for palladium. Or is palladium going to fail and start dumping back down? As you can see, these 2 previous dumps, they peaked and dumped quick. Peaked and dumped quick. We're not seeing that right now, which is, I like that. Like I told you, I think we were going to be floundering around this level. Why? Because the sanctions threat Trump put on Putin for not playing ball and coming to the table and trying to end that war in Ukraine. He put a 50-day warning. He gave him a 50-day warning and said, you got 50 days. Well, that's been revised to 10 days, and that was 3 or 4 days ago. Putin's not playing ball. He's flat out said he wants to take back their property, and that's why they're fighting in Ukraine. And so it looks like Putin is just at a place where he's always been. He was never going to play ball, never can comply. He's just strung the previous administration along, strung this administration along. Trump tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, tried to work with him, and now he's frustrated. So he's revised his 50 days to 10 days, which, like I said, was 3 or 4 days ago. So this thing's going to come to a head theoretically in the next week or so. If there's sanctions put on Russia directly, secondary sanctions, both, whatever he's going to end up doing, that should spike palladium prices. Like I've told you, Russia controls 60% of the palladium market. So we will have, this will be one to watch. Like I told you, we probably found around this level. Waiting on this, waiting to see what's going to happen. Here we are. We've created another bull flag, and this measured move out of here. One hint on sanctions. I believe palladium's going to march up, but I really can't promise that. It just sounds good to me. Let's look at silver. Silver is, we had a nice run with silver. Finally pushed up to that $39 and change. Here's that measured move out of that big pink sending wedge we were looking at. We haven't got there yet. We're retesting the breakout level right now, retesting this 50-day moving average. You can see we bounced off of there twice. What's silver going to do? We're just going to have to watch and see. We'd like to see it come up, retest this level here, and then break through, and then we'll be seeing this level here if that happens. So that's silver. I brought crypto to you guys last video, specifically Bitcoin only, and then we're just looking at Bitcoin, and if you haven't watched my previous video, do so to get a little understanding. A lot of people in the gold and precious metals market think crypto is crazy, and they don't want any part of it, but I showed you guys this big, massive inverse head and shoulders. What I told you I'd like to see happen is we started to break out of that. We started marching up. Our measured move for Bitcoin out of this big inverse head and shoulders would be $147-ish, or $147,000. That could be the top of our bull run for this cycle. There's more to that than that, but what I told you I'd like to see, or most likely was going to happen, is as we're up here, we were going to probably come back and retest this breakout for two reasons. One, that's a healthy thing. We want to see a retest, and then we want to see it move back up. And once we get a close above this level here, we're going to start marching up. We'll retest this level, see if we get rejected or not. If we break through, we're on our march up to that measured move out of this. Another reason is we had a CME gap. And I wanted to explain that to you so you weren't confused. Just so you know, crypto markets are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you can trade crypto all week, or all day, every day. All right? The rest of the market closes on Fridays and opens on Mondays. Well, this is the CME gap. There's the CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. The CME gap is the difference of what Bitcoin futures close at on Friday, which that was here, if you see that candle here, and then what the spot market opens at, or is at, on Monday morning when the futures market reopens, which you can see is here. Let me just stretch this out a little bit to get this a little more obvious. So you see this gap that's created right here? That's a CME gap. So the futures market closed here on Friday, and when it reopened on Monday, Bitcoin spot price was up here at 115,000. That's 113,000. Basically, it moved up by $2,000. Okay. Almost always, that CME gap will end up getting refilled by the market. As the spot market trades, everybody knows that CME gap's there. That typically gets refilled and retested. That's what I told you, exactly what I would expect to happen. To have this come down to that $114,000 level, fill that CME gap, retest the breakout, and then march back up. We have cleared that now. You can see here on the futures market, there's that gap. You can see we've come back exactly right there, and we've closed that gap. Now we are looking for upward move out of here. We've cleared that gap. We've got a green light to start moving, marching upwards. All right, so I know that's a lot of technical information, but when you hear the term CME gap in crypto, Bitcoin, it's kind of confusing, but that's what it means. And all these things create patterns, and all these things create expected realities. And most of the time, they're, like I've told you, they're kind of self-fulfilling prophecies. We know these things are largely likely to happen. You look at my previous video, before any of these candles were over here, I told you exactly this. That's not because I'm clairvoyant. It's just because what technical analysis shows us is likely to happen. All right? In any event, Bitcoin is poised to make its march on up to this measured move out of here. Back to the gold market. We are looking great. It's been a great run for gold. We're up at all-time highs. Even if we come back down and retest this $3,175 level, we are at all-time highs. We're doing great. Palladium's the one to watch. That's really what I'm watching right now. What is Palladium going to do? We've been floundering in this channel for 3 years. I want to see us break out of this with a confirmed breakout and start moving up. That would be beautiful, which this would be. If we can break out of this bull flag and hit this level, we will have a confirmed breakout out of this channel, and are these levels of support and resistance here. And I would like to see this line would then become resistance, and we would maybe retest it again at some point or whatever. But I'd just like to see Palladium march up, and I believe it's going to be largely dependent on the sanctions or not that Russia receives, secondary or directly. So anyway, that's an update on the market. You guys have a blessed day. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for sending in your gold and your scrap metal. I really appreciate your guys' business. Have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.